So, one of the ideas and themes that I've been really trying to understand in my life over the last, it's actually been a couple of years, is this idea of acceptance. And I have been exploring Buddhist thought and philosophy and really trying to dig into what does acceptance mean, because ultimately, well, because my therapist told me to. So this year, Casey and I, for our anniversary, we got bracelets. These are called My Intent bracelets. And we sat down. The whole idea behind this is you have a special word on there that's your intention. And this year, he and I sat down and we talked about what would be the word for us, for our relationships, for our family, for, this year moving forward. And we came up with a word together of acceptance. And, acceptance is it's a really hard concept for me, especially living and working as an environmentalist and somebody who's really trying to change the trajectory, change the way we're going, change society. Like, how can I accept the environmental devastation, and how is that okay? So, what I have been really working on is that acceptance isn't necessarily resignation. It's not the same. So, resignation is really giving up, feeling hopeless. And acceptance has more to do with being firmly grounded in the reality of that very moment. So, basically, if you refuse to accept, you're always fighting against yourself. You're always fighting against that reality, which takes a lot of energy. And if you're using that energy to fight what is, you don't have energy to put towards what could be or the world that you want to make. So this idea is acceptance and radical acceptance. Radical acceptance, that's, I'm listening to a book right now by Tara Brach. She's a Buddhist teacher, and the book is called Radical Acceptance. And I'm really working on this concept. And I think what's so hard for me right now, living in the world that we're in, is that we're just constantly having to hold opposing realities in our heads. We're in this paradox of incredible sadness and grief for where we are. But then also, I have this amazing hope and gratitude and a focus on beauty. It's like when you're out in nature, I can see the impacts, and I know climate change is there, but I also, every time I see a salmon, I'm just in awe of what this amazing animal is doing and bringing. So that is what I have been focused on. And how do I pursue radical acceptance? How do I live within this paradox of the sadness in our world, but also not allow that to overwhelm me so much that I am actually absolutely paralyzed? So I hope this idea is of use to you. I'm curious to hear what folks think about the idea of accepting what is in the reality and allowing that to move us forward, but not resigning. No resignation. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop because this is important. So I'm really thinking a lot about people who are like me, people who are focused on being change, being agents of change, who are mission driven, who really want to serve in the highest way they can. And what I have found over the last couple years, give or take, is that I'm reaching a burnout factor. And because of that, I've had to really step back and take a deep breath and start to really reframe some of these things that I am working on in a way that will allow for greater sustainability in my life. And I'm really wondering, is this something that it could be useful for my community, for those of you out there who are also feeling the same? Are there tools that I can bring? Are there ideas that I can share that would really help to benefit us, these mission-driven people who tend to feel what's happening in this world so deeply, and it's hard not to feel despair. So to do that, I am considering different ways. And one of the things that I think would be really helpful is to talk to a few folks who are maybe feeling like I am and see what it is that you're seeking. What would be helpful for you? Is it a podcast? Is it video blogs? Is it more of what I'm doing? Is it a group coaching program? Is it a mastermind? I don't know. I think there's a lot of different options. But what I'm really curious is to hear, what do you experience? What are tools that you feel like you need to help foster your sustainability and your inner growth and your inner peace so that you can continue to do the work that you are meant to do, so you can continue to stay in this work, whether it's social or environmental or whatever other mission you might be working on. So please drop me a comment, call me, email me, get in touch, and let's talk about where you're at, what you're experiencing, and let me know if you feel like there's something that I can bring to this community that might help support us. Thank you for listening to my ideas on acceptance. Bye.